We talked about Time Machine when we talked about system preferences, and I described a bit about how you could set the preferences for Time Machine. If you recall, what Time Machine is part of Mac OS X that backs up changed files to a hard disk. Usually it's an external hard disk. It is definitely not your startup disk. And those changed files are backed up every hour for a day, and then they're merged together, and daily backups are kept for the last week, and before that the dailies are merged into weekly backups, so you can go back in time to recover files that you have accidentally deleted or corrupted. I'll show you how it works. What I'm going to do is to go into my Documents folder, and I'm going to take the Test2 folder, and I'm going to accidentally delete it. And now I'm going to empty the trash. Now, you might think that it's pretty hard to do this by accident. I had to move it to the trash, and now, assuming that I have this preference set, which most people do, I have to confirm that I want to delete it. It's really very common at this exact moment to realize, oh, no, I didn't want to delete that, or it was the wrong file. You just click OK and it's gone. Well, it's not gone because I've got Time Machine. I can click on Time Machine here, and what I can do is you can see in this window the Test2 folder and its contents are gone. Now I just did that, so I can probably go back just one version, and here it is. It's still here. But I could go back. You can see hour by hour today. I can go back to yesterday, and then I'm going back on a daily basis, and then I go back on a weekly basis. Here is the folder. I can go back to whatever date I need, and I've selected it, and I can click Restore. And what Restore is going to do is to simply restore that folder and its contents. It's not taking it out of the trash, it's going to the backup and restoring it. Now, if I were to go into Time Machine now, you can see Test2 is there. Maybe I haven't deleted it. Maybe I have simply corrupted it. I can go back to the previous version and I can restore. And Time Machine is going to ask me whether I want to replace the file, which would be the case if I had corrupted it, if I wanted to keep the original, or if I want to keep both. And here is the original version, and here is the replaced version. So I can compare the two and see which one I want. That's how you use Time Machine. Now, one point that's necessary to discuss when you're looking at Time Machine is the size of the disk and how much space is available. And you can see this is an external 500 gigabyte hard drive, which is not that expensive and is the size that a lot of people, unless you're doing video editing, this will work for a lot of people. And you can see that I've been backing up for months now, and I haven't even used 100 gigabytes on the disk. So I've got plenty available. But at some point I'm going to run out of space. And so what you do is you go into the drive that you're using for backups, and this drive is a regular Macintosh drive, and you can look at files and folders in it going back, and they're all dated. And what I could do is to look, these are the current dates. I can come back here and I could say, well, I've got these daily backups back here. I'm going back several months. I could get rid of, let's say, these 5. I could take out another 5 here. Depending on what the timestamp is, I can weed out some files. It's possible, of course, also to go back and say, I'll take everything older than 3 months and throw it out. But the fact of the matter is that usually what you want to do is just decrease the frequency with which you're saving files. Instead of every week or every day or every month, maybe you go back to once every 3 months. So you can still use Time Machine to go back further and further in time. Now, Time Machine is terrific because it just works. But it is no substitute for a periodic backup of your entire hard disk, either using dedicated software like Retrospect or simply backing up to CDs or DVDs. And the reason for that is that there are certain times when you want the image of your disk as it was then. For example, at the end of a year, you may want to back up all of your files, or all of your accounting files, let's say, to a CD or DVD. And you would do this either on January 1st or December 31st, or alternatively, what you might want to do is to do it when you have entered the last transaction for the previous year. That would mean when you've balanced your bank account or all the checks have cleared from December, because then you can put that away, and if you ever have to go back to it, you can see exactly what it looked like then. So that's Time Machine. Now, Time Machine is going to back up once an hour to the drive that you've designated, and you can see that I've got the little Time Machine icon here. If I unmount that drive, and this drive actually happens to have 2 volumes in it, what's going to happen is obviously Time Machine is not going to be able to run. So if you want to temporarily turn off Time Machine, the easiest way to do that is to simply unmount the disk. When you bring the disk back on, then Time Machine will pick up from where it left off.